How do you ground immaterial reality then? Where does all this come from?
Well, that's where my faith comes in, but have you ever heard of teleonomy?
Who?
Teleonomy.
Mm-mm.
It's kind of the complement to teleology. So teleology is kind of purpose that...
teleology.
Yeah. It arises through intentional intelligence, right? Mm-hmm. Well, teleonomy is the emergence of purpose simply because the function has arisen. It's kind of what is proposed by evolutionary theories.
The problem is if macroevolution is true and there is no teleology, we should not know it's true. Because we don't have minds that can ascertain truths. We just have minds fit for survival, not for truth.
So
this is
what
why
would the difference be between truth and survival at a certain point?
Well, it could be that
there's an
like
overlap.
let me give you an example. Like the research shows that people who believe in God live longer. But if God doesn't exist, that's a false belief, but it helps survival.
Mm-hmm.
So you're surviving, but you don't know truth.
What is truth in this context then?
Well, truth is what corresponds to reality. So
okay.
If I'm believing in God and I live longer because of that, I'm surviving longer, but I don't have a true belief.
So if our minds are what our brains are doing, then our brains are making representations of reality, so those representations can be true, right?
The only way you could know if something were true is if you had a mind that could follow the evidence where it leads. In other words, if your mind wasn't completely controlled by the laws of physics, you had free will, in other words. And it seems to me the only way you could have free will if there's an immaterial reality to our apparatus here. But that's exactly what atheism denies. There's no immaterial reality. We're just molecular machines. We're moist robots.
I'm an atheist, but I don't deny certain immaterial things. But.
Okay, well, good. Well, what immaterial? How do you ground immaterial reality then? Where does all this come from?
Well, that's where my faith comes in, but I'm still working that out a little bit. But
well, that's fine. If I gave you a book, would you read it?
Which one? I assume it's one I haven't read yet.
How to Make Love Last Forever. Your Best Life Now. No, I want to give you my book back there. Anybody got any books back there? They're out. If you give me your address, I'll send you one, Gordon.
I actually been using audiobooks, so
okay.
I can probably go that way if you have it.
Stealing from God. Check that one out. Why atheists need God to make their case. That's what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
All right?
I'd be surprised if you had a...
If I had what?
I'd be surprised if the book changed my mind on that. Because I think it's the other way
around. I would too, because...
I think it's the other way around,
I would, because you don't have a mind, according to your worldview.
Because I think that the God...
That's the problem.
The God conversation is borrowing from the material world.
But you see, you just said you changed my mind. According to atheism, there is no minds. There's just brains.
Brains are doing the mind. The mind is what the brain does.
But they're one and the same.
Processes are immaterial. Right.
Well, then there's more than just material then. Then you're stuck again with trying to ground the immaterial
material things
realm.
participate in processes, yeah. So.
But if it's all driven by the laws of physics, it's not a free will thought that you're following the evidence for. It's just... It's
reliable still.
How can it be? There's no way to evaluate it as reliable. You don't have a mind to evaluate it. You just have this brain.
It's true that that's through induction. So it is yeah.
All right. But thanks, man. Let me go on to some more questions.
I'm an atheist with faith.
All right. That's right. Everybody has faith. You're right, Gordon.